Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Devils in God's Country. I am one of your hosts, Casper Rigsby, here with my lovely co-host, Miss Allie Jackson. Say hi, Miss Allie.
Hi.
Um, as those of you who've seen the show before know, this is basically a little video series where once a week me and Allie get together and we have a few drinks and we rant about shit that pisses us off, generally dealing with religion or atheism or shit in that venue. This week's topic will be discussing people's ignorance about satire and learning tools and how satire can be used as a learning tool. And this is somewhat in reference to some of the backlash that Richard Dawkins has gotten recently and in the past, because apparently people don't get his satire at all. And we're also going to discuss the regressive left a little bit more because, you know, that's one of the things that really grinds my gears, if you will. So I'll let Miss Allie kick it off because she was actually a little more involved with what's going on with Dawkins. So I'll let her kick it off and talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so today I was on Twitter, which is kind of rare for me. I don't visit Twitter that often anymore. And I discovered that I guess Richard Dawkins posted that meme that's been going around lately about some guy who's drunk at a bar and he's sitting there talking to some Muslim women because he wants to learn about their culture. And after like 30 minutes of talking to them, the bartender tells him, "Look, dude, those are umbrellas." And, you know, it was a funny little meme, whatever, haha, making fun of people who wear burqas. And a lot of people started backlashing. Like Richard Dawkins was like, "I don't understand how many times you have to tell this to people." But, or I don't remember exactly how he worded it, but he was like, you know, satire, it's satire. And a lot of people commenting back were like, it wasn't funny, so it wasn't satire. It was insulting. And I was kind of taken aback by that. I was kind of shocked that people don't understand satire doesn't have to be funny. If anybody Googles the definition of what satire is, it absolutely can be ridiculing as well, right? To make a point that your point is stupid. So satire doesn't have to be humorous all the time. And I was kind of shocked that people assumed if it's not funny, then you're just being an insulting asshole. No, and if you want to take it that far, if we want to go that far with it, even if it is funny, you can still be an asshole, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. Satire doesn't have to just be a joke for everybody to laugh at, or else it's an insulting thing. No, it is absolutely supposed to ridicule an idea. And it doesn't even have to be like a hard ridicule. I don't think that meme was a hard ridicule. I think that comparing women or people to trash bags, I can definitely see how that can be insulting, but you have to understand the message that the meme is trying to put through, or the image is trying to put through. It's okay that it's insulting. You know, you choose to be insulted. If you want to be insulted, that's fine. But it definitely sends a message, and it's that message that you really need to pick up on. That's the important part of it, not your offense. Put your offense to the side. Pick up on the message that people are trying to say with this stuff. And I was just so shocked that people were like, "It wasn't funny, so it was an insult." And no, you can't just put satire down into what's comedic and what's not. So it was kind of funny seeing all those people yelling at Dawkins because his joke wasn't funny. It didn't have to be. And that was kind of shocking to me. I don't think that people are understanding satire and what it's actually supposed to do anymore. They just want to find insult and offense and hold on to their offense with things. Put your offense to the side when you're on the internet, people. No one cares about your fucking offense, okay? I don't care if you're offended by anything I have to say, by anything I have to show. Get my message, understand my message. And if you're too stupid to understand the message, if you're too stupid to understand the point that was trying to be made there, the ridiculous part that was supposed to be pointed out, that's your problem. It's not everyone else's problem. Just because you're offended by something doesn't mean that the message itself doesn't still stand.
You know, and I think at worst you might could say, "Oh well, you know, Richard, that was actually kind of culturally insensitive." Okay, I'll give you that. It is a little bit culturally insensitive, but at the same time, like you have to point out a culture that breeds such fucking obvious, you know, pacification of women and you know that sort of tying down. Like if you could for a Muslim woman, it's a real issue that should probably be discussed. And I can say that you can disagree that that's not the right forum and way to go about doing that, but the message is the same and it's clear. There's a real issue when you can make that mistake. I actually I shared a meme a while back of a picture that at first glance looks like blackbirds congregating on a beach. And the caption for that was that awkward moment when you realize these blackbirds congregating on a beach are actually Muslim women at the beach. And when you look at it and examine it, you say, oh shit, that actually is Muslim women in full burqa on the beach, you know? And it's like, whoa, you know, how can you make that mistake? And you know, when you take a step back and you don't have that clear picture, yeah, you'll overlook it, and then you go, wow, like that, how could I make that mistake? You know, those are people. That's actually people out there. And it's like, I couldn't even tell that was a human being, you know, until you really look at it. So yeah, there's an issue and it needs to be addressed. And of course I didn't get the backlash that Dawkins got for his, but because you know, apparently most people found it a little more funny or a little more, I guess, politically correct. Yeah. But it just, you know, it's a point that we've been trying to talk about, you know. Yes, the objectification of women, especially in the West, is an issue that needs to be dealt with. The pacification of women, especially under Islam, is another issue that definitely needs to be addressed. And of course, we both have our issues on either side that have to be addressed. But you know, there's dialogue on at least one side, and there's no dialogue on the other.
Well, and
that's the
problem.
The
important part is, you know, that is why passing around memes like that, in my opinion, is very important, especially if they're insulting. Let's get those out on the internet. Let's get people talking about it. Stop talking about your fucking offense and start, if you're offended by it, why don't you start defending it, right? If you don't believe that women dressed in full burqa can't be mistaken for a trash bag, can't be mistaken for an umbrella, talk about it. If there's something wrong with that idea, then talk about it. The cultural insensitivity I get. Look, I'm a woman, okay? I see things that attack women all the time. I see things that attack skinny women, things that attack fat women. If you're a regular woman and you're not in full health, you're attacked for that. If you're a full healthed woman, you get attacked for that. No matter what you are, you're constantly getting attacked. There's always a place for you on the internet to go and find something that offends you and insults you. But rather than pointing out the offense, rather than saying, hey, asshole for posting this, you're an asshole for what you're doing to women, why don't you talk about the issue that it's trying to get through, okay? Being morbidly obese is not healthy. And that absolutely is an issue that needs to be addressed. Being too skinny and underweight is not healthy. That is an issue that needs to get addressed. Things like that, you might hate it. You might hate seeing it. You might hate having to identify with one side or the other. But it's something that absolutely does need to be addressed. And it's not just something that needs to be addressed with women, but it also needs to be addressed with men. But the point of the matter is, no matter what venue you find these kinds of comments on, if you're not fully prepared to go after the issue that stands behind it, then shut up. In my opinion, if you don't have anything valuable to say, shut the fuck up. Yeah, people are going to post things that are fucking mean. I will post things that are fucking mean. Today I posted something that people found rather mean. I'm a really bad person at telling someone to calm down. If they're being really uppity or outrageous, I will tell you straight up, hey, can you calm down so we can talk about this? Apparently that upsets a lot of people. And there's a meme that was posted that said, you know, when you tell a woman to calm down in the middle of an argument, she's got to pan up to this guy's head and she's about to hammer a wedge into his head. And I was like, you know what, men actually get twice as pissy. Some men get twice as pissy. And it turned out a lot of people get really pissy about it on both sides. But it was awesome to put that out there because it was something that I was willing to say, you know, this is not just women. This is also a men issue as well. And yeah, a lot of men did stand beside that. They said, absolutely, if you tell me to calm down in the middle of an argument, you are escalating the problem. You are the one that is at fault here. And so it was great. It opened up that kind of dialogue where women aren't the only crazy people in the middle of an argument. Men can be too. So it was great to get that dialogue kind of out there, right? This is the same thing with this. I think it's absolutely fucking ridiculous for any woman to have to cover herself from head to toe. I think it's absolutely disgusting. For a woman to not be able to put her hair out there, to wear red lipstick. You know, that's just absolutely insane. I can't even fathom it. And that is the point that I think we need to start attacking. Not who's the asshole for comparing a woman in a burqa to an umbrella, but why the fuck a burqa is around in the first place. It's not religious freedom. A lot of women will absolutely step out and say, this is religious freedom for me, blah, blah, blah. It's not. That's something that you were born into. It's absolutely something you're indoctrinated with. It's something that's in your doctrine that you have to follow. And it's not showing any sort of freedom on your part to completely cover your body and not show your face and not let your voice be heard. And you just sit in a little corner in your little house with your sister wives or whatever, and you're in your burqa. I feel very sad for those women, and I might be outrageously culturally insensitive right now. But I have spoken to a lot of these women who have left Islam and absolutely find that oppressive, absolutely find it a disgusting way to live their life, and they can't stand it anymore. So it seems to me that once that indoctrination kind of gets unveiled in their head, they can unveil themselves once they're in a safe place, of course, and they won't be beheaded for it. Or stoned to death for it. And that these are things that we need to fucking address. Is it religious freedom? Is it really religious freedom if you're going to get stoned to death or beaten by your husband if you don't do it? Is that really religious freedom? And so when I see these kind of things like Dawkins put out there, I really want to talk about the issue of the burqa. That's what I want to discuss. I don't want to discuss offense. I absolutely, yes, it's terrible to take a group of women and put them down. But like what I just said, if somebody can come counter me and tell me, no, it is religious freedom because, please do. Let's open up this dialogue. I have no problems with being wrong with my opinion. If somebody can show me a better opinion to have, I'll be more than happy to take that. But in the meantime, I absolutely find the burqa oppressive. I find it terrible. I think it's saddening that women are objects. They're absolutely objects that have to be forced behind a veil for their own husbands' viewings, and that is the issue that we need to be discussing. Okay, we need to be discussing that so that people like me who do find it absolutely offensive that women have to be in that way. If I'm wrong, you can tell me you're wrong because of XYZ, rather than just saying, Dawkins, you're an asshole. That's not opening up any dialogue. That you're not helping people like me who find the burqa offensive. You're not proving any point. So you're missing the satire. You're missing an opportunity to enlighten the world. If it's offensive, enlighten me as to why that's offensive.
Yeah, you know, honestly, I feel like when I see shit like that, I want to tell the people that are getting offended by it, you get to have an opinion on the matter when it is not a mandatory thing in majority Muslim countries, okay? When every woman in that country is given the freedom to wear whatever she wants, whenever she fucking wants to, and is able to leave her home by her fucking self as a human being and be treated like a human being, then be offended and you get to say, oh, there's a cultural issue here and you're being culturally insensitive. Until then, it's not cultural. It's a forced subjugation is exactly what it is. It's a form of slavery to tell a woman you have to wear this under penalty of law, under the threat of death or violence. That is subjugation. That is slavery. Okay, there's no other way to put it. There's no other term that can be used. That's what it is. And until that doesn't exist, you don't get to be offended. You don't get to be offended by me calling your understanding of ethics into question by any means necessary. And that includes satire, ridicule, any form that I see fit to call your ethics into question. I am damn well going to do that. I have the freedom to do that. When your women have that same freedom that I have, then we can have that discussion about you being offended and it being culturally offensive. But until then, we're dealing with a bigger issue. And regardless of whether the point was understood by others or not, the point was understood by a lot of people. There were plenty of people that responded favorably to it and understand the point that was trying to be made, you know, and it's a point about slavery. It's a point about subjugation. It's a subjugation of the mind that comes in the form of indoctrination that starts at youth. You know, if you tell a little girl from the time that she's born until the time that she's an adult, you can do whatever you want to do. It is your life. It is your body. It is your choice. You do what you want to do. And she chooses of her own free will to cover herself up like that. I respect that. I respect that wholeheartedly. That is your choice. But as long as it's not a choice, I don't respect it. That is a human rights violation. That is unethical. There is no ethical standing for that. Just because you can say, oh, well, this is what my God wants. Dude, first you need to prove your God exists. Then you can talk to me about what your fucking God wants. And since you can't ever do number one, we're never going to get to number two. So let's talk about ethics based in logic. Let's talk about reasonable establishment of what is ethical. And if you can't offer that, then we're not going to have a discussion. We're not, because you're wrong, period. I know a lot of people hate to be told, oh, you're saying I'm fucking wrong? You're telling me you can prove me wrong? Well, yes, logically and reasonably I can prove you wrong. And you have nothing to combat that but your holy book. And that's shit. It has no standing here. We're talking about logic and reason and what we can prove, and we can say this makes sense to everyone. Even outside of your little circle, this makes sense. And if you can't say that, you have no standing. Your argument is invalid. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. That goes for atheists, religious people, anybody. If you can't stand, if your argument can't stand on its own merits, you have no argument. And you're wrong. Period. So it's like we like to say in the video game community, and especially amongst my video game friends, if you can't beat the game, your problem is you need to get good. If your argument doesn't hold water, problem is you need to get good. Get a better argument. Get something to back it up with. Because if you ain't got that, you ain't got shit. You know, it's about the facts. That's just how it is.
Yeah, and I mean, when it comes to Muslim women who do say this is my choice and I do choose to dress like this, I can't help but call out bullshit on that, because women get stoned to death for not wearing the burqa and not conforming. So when we stop stoning women to death for stupid things like accidentally becoming uncovered in public, then you can tell me that it's your choice. When it's not written in a holy book or in a hadith or throughout time of a history of women having to do this, then you can tell me it's your choice. I mean, we have a lot of women now that like to dress in Victorian dress, right? It's fun. It's cosplay. It's something they enjoy doing. It's definitely not written anywhere they have to do it or they're going to get stoned. That is a choice. That is choosing to dress a certain way. That kind of goes against social norm, I guess. But to try to say that the burqa is your choice in any way, you might love it, because there's a lot of Muslim women who take off their hijab and they hate it. They don't feel comfortable anymore. Me personally, if I were to shave my hair off, I would lose my mind, right? I hate, my hair drives me freaking insane, and everyone who knows me knows that. But without this security blanket that I have, I would go crazy. So I can completely understand removing the hijab would cause women to have a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear, because it's just something that's their security blanket. It's something they've always had. When I speak out in public in large crowds, I like to wear red lipstick. It's just something I like to do, and it's not because I think it makes me look pretty. I just think that it makes me look more fierce, I guess, and it's a psychological thing. So I feel more confident when I'm wearing red lipstick and I'm speaking in front of a crowd. It has nothing to do with my physical appearance. It's kind of my security blanket, and I would feel kind of an unease if I didn't have it. So not having the hijab absolutely is something you've had your entire life. I can understand you feeling naked without it, and I can understand you choosing to want to wear it again. Okay, I get that. But the point of the matter is, and it's something we do have to look at, is the fact that you feel comfortable with it because it was something that was thrown upon you. It was something that you've been wearing since you were younger. It's been your security blanket because it's had to be your security blanket. And I think it's very important to point out that kind of a difference when it comes to Muslim women in their wear. It's not something that you might be able to choose it later because it makes you feel comfortable. Okay, it's something that you've always had, but that doesn't mean that you're choosing to wear it because it's what you actually want. You're used to it. And it's, again, if I'm wrong, please, by all means, somebody come out here and tell me that I'm wrong for saying this. It's just based on my conversations with ex-Islamic women. That's kind of been the case. It's a security blanket. Yes, I'm an atheist now, but I still wear my hijab because it makes me feel comfortable when I'm out in front of people. It's just something I've always had to do. So no, I will never accept that it's something that women choose to wear. I can understand it being a comfort. I really can. But that doesn't mean that it's your choice to wear that. It was just something that was thrust upon you, and now you're just comfortable with it. And that difference, I think, really needs to be pointed out there as well. But something else that I really wanted to address was the mass mob beating that Muslim woman to death because of a rumor that was started over her disrespecting a Quran. Two police officers kind of try to put her on top of a shelter to keep her safe from the mob. They pull her down. People have their cell phones out. They're recording people just beating this woman to death. Okay, we can see clearly who beat this woman to death. No one's getting charged for it. No one's getting punished for what they did to this woman over a rumor. And this is another example of how women are treated in that society. This woman was beaten to death for no fucking reason. No fucking reason. Just a rumor. And that's outrageous to me. But then when it's reported in the news, it's reported as a faulty justice. When I hear the word justice, I think of just, things that happen because they were supposed to happen, or things that happened because it brought favor to a side that was hurt. And here, that wasn't the case at all. And how the fuck are we calling an angry mob of savages? I don't care what race you are. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care if it's a bunch of white people attacking someone of a different color. I will absolutely call you a savage. If you are savage enough to, with your hands, beat someone to death over anything, you're a fucking savage, and you're not bringing justice to anyone. So for media outlets to call what happened to her a faulty justice, I'm kind of outraged at the fact that can even be said. And why? Because is it because this came from an Islamic country? Is this a regressive left thing where we can't call people who do savage things savage? Because isn't that in and of itself being bigoted? Aren't you being a bigot because you're saying this person can't be called a savage for their savage behavior because of their religion? I'm kind of outraged on behalf of humanity. I'm outraged that a woman gets beaten to death and we get to call it a faulty justice.
Yeah, and okay, so this is where the tie-in to the regressive left comes from, and Allie and I discussed this a little bit before the show. Apparently, this faulty justice idea has been provocated by people such as Sink, who is one of the guys involved with the Young Turks. And it's something that would be propagated by people like C.J. Whirlman and Reza Aslan. This is the regressive left, and we honestly don't talk about the regressive left enough, I think, especially within the atheist community, because this is the biggest hurdle within the atheist community that we have to face. It's not actually religious people. It's these sort of religious apologists that are atheists by definition because they don't believe in a God, but yet they want to offer some sort of special treatment and special exception when it comes to religion, and they want to fucking coddle it. And more often than not, it has to do with Islam. Um, my personal feelings on this, my personal opinion, is that these people are fucking cowards. They are fucking cowards who are afraid of Islamic extremism. So they've put themselves so far in the left that they actually side with Islamic extremists. They're the same people who want to say that, oh, I'm an atheist, but, France deserved what they got, or fucking Charlie Hebdo, they deserved what they got because, you poke a bear. Like, fuck you, dude. You can go so far left that you're now right and you're wrong. That's how that fucking works. Like, I'm very left. I am completely for equality and freedom and true justice. I also understand what the fuck justice is. And like Allie talked about, you can't call this faulty justice. Like, just to break it down for those of you who really don't have a lot of understanding of history and the ideas and the way that ideas and concepts are formed. The idea of justice, okay, is about the weighting of a scale. All right. When the scale is weighted, each side is even. When the scale is unbalanced, that means one side has favor over the other. And in order to have justice, in order to justify the scale, you have to add to the side which is lower, or yeah, so that they're even. You have to make the scale even. It's about balance. That's what justice is. Okay, it's a mathematical idea that is correlated into human understanding about ethics. So when you say justice, you're talking about a mathematical idea. You're talking about the fact that you can say 1 + 1 = 2, and you know that 2 on the far side of the scale is equal to the 1 and 1 that you put on the other side of the scale. It's mathematically understandable. People don't understand that. People don't get it. They think mob justice is fairness. When they call something like this faulty justice, what they're saying is, oh, well, this woman deserved to die, but just not at the hands of this mob. She should have been brought in front of a kangaroo court with no evidence put upon her whatsoever and convicted and then murdered, under these laws, and that would have been justice. But because the mob did it, it was faulty justice. And when you look at the scale is uneven no matter which way that plays out. Unless you can prove that that woman did something egregious enough to warrant her death, that scale is uneven. Period. It doesn't work. People don't get that. You can't call this faulty justice. There's no justice to it. None. The scale is unbalanced no matter what fucking way that you look at it. That's the problem. And that's where we have to deal with the fucking regressive left. People like CJ Whirlman and fucking the Young Turks and Reza Aslan. And yes, he's not even a fucking atheist. He's a Muslim, but he's like, oh, I'm a moderate Muslim and Islam is supposed to be what I say it's supposed to be because this is how I've interpreted the Quran. So, you know, that's what Islam really is. And you're just, you know, these extremists, like, they're wrong. I'm sorry, but your fucking no true Scotsman fallacy doesn't have any fucking play here, bitch ass motherfucker. Fuck you. Fuck you and your fallacies and your bullshit. Reza Aslan can suck a fat one for all I give a shit. That dude is a fucking horrible human being, and he makes actual moderate Muslims look bad because he makes them seem like they don't understand the fucking Quran, and he makes it look like the extremists have not actually looked at the Quran and said, okay, well, we can take this part and this part justifies our actions. So that's what we'll do. And that's exactly what they did. They got it all from the fucking Quran, but he doesn't want to acknowledge that. No, they interpreted it wrong. No, they just fucking read it and did what the fuck it said. According to the Quran, if Muhammad was still here, he'd be fucking fighting with ISIS right now. He'd be their fucking leader. That's what the fucking Quran says. And the hadiths, that's what the shit says. So people that don't live up to that, yeah, they've cherry-picked the shit out of it to find the parts that agree with their life and allow them to be ethical people. I wish there were more of them. I wish everyone was like that. There'd be a lot less problems. But the real problem is, no, the books fucking says that. That's what it says. The Bible's just as bad. It says it fucking specifically. How do you deal with homosexuals according to the Bible? You fucking stone them to death. That's what the fucking Bible says. It's not roundabout. You don't get to interpret it. The Bible says if you got fucking homosexuals, kill them. Like, that's what it says. I didn't do that. I didn't write the fucking book. Somebody else wrote the fucking book. Somebody else put it together. That's not my fault. And it's not my fault for pointing it out. I'm not a dickhead for pointing that out. That's what the fucking book says. Talk to the people who fucking wrote it. I don't know. If your God is omnipotent and all-knowing, why the fuck didn't he write a better book? Oh, well, it was, you know, it was 1,500, 2,000 years ago, you know, so things were different. Yeah, what the fuck does that matter? Why couldn't he have told people 2,000 years ago, hey, man, slavery's not cool. You shouldn't do that. Like, that's not kosher with me. Sorry. But he didn't. No. According to your books, God was like, hey, man, slavery is the fucking bee's knees. Here's how your slave should act, and here's how you should act as a slave owner. Your women are property. If you want to sell your daughter to the fucking nearest neighbor for 2 goats and a fucking cow, that's awesome. And if somebody rapes your daughter, well, you know, he's devalued her. He owes you a couple pieces of silver, and he's got to marry her and take care of her because he's made your property worthless, and now you can't get 2 goats and a cow off of her. That's what your fucking book says. I didn't write that shit. I don't know why you're angry with me. All I'm doing is pointing it out to you. That's all Dawkins is doing. You know, that's all Sam Harris does. He just points it out. Hey, this is fucked up. And you're like, no, you got to do this, that, and the other. No, you don't. It fucking says it specifically. It's not fucking brain surgery, which apparently Ben Carson can do and still can't figure out that the fucking world isn't flat and fucking 6,000 years old. Goddamn nutcase.
That scares me. That's scary. But yeah, and on that note, I do we get a lot of Muslims that write our page and ask, because one thing that we do like to point out to a lot of people is how Islam absolutely is misogynistic. And how the Quran and everything about a lot of the and it's not that we just want to attack Islam. We absolutely do the exact same thing to Christianity, the exact same thing to any religion. Because they're all pretty much misogynistic. And people like to ask me where in the Quran is it ever say that a woman is lesser than a man? And I love to point out where where Muhammad says that it takes 2 women to take the place of a why is this slipping my mind?
A man's testimony.
A man's testimony. It takes 2 women. Thank you so much. I'm too drunk for this. It takes 2 women to equal 1 man's testimony. And they say, why? Why does it take 2 women to equal 1 man's testimony? He says, well, that's because of the degradation of their brain or something like that. And he wasn't that smart about it. But yeah, obviously women are stupid. And so it takes 2 women per 1 man to say anything or to even be a witness. It takes 2 women to 1 man. And that's, you know, if I weren't drunk, that would have sounded a lot better. But that it's riddled, you know, it's riddled throughout there. Women are lesser than men. Women are lesser than men. And to point it out, why aren't men having to cover themselves from head to toe, right? Why is it only women that have to cover themselves head to toe? I don't understand how people just can't see this. And you know, it's why I love satire. I love satire because it gets us talking about this stuff. And if I'm wrong about this stuff, it gives someone an opportunity to come in and say, hey, you know what, you're wrong. And here's why you're wrong. And I would love it. I would love it if we'd start using our tools the way they're supposed to be used. Let's talk about it. If I'm wrong with a point that I am making, and you don't appreciate it, by all means, tell me, Allie, you're wrong. Instead of you just being like, you're a fucking cunt, and I don't like what you have to say. Fantastic.
Well, not even just tell you. You need to back it up. Like, if you're going to tell me I'm wrong, back it up. Show me. You can't just say, oh, I disagree with you, so you're wrong. No, prove me wrong. Like, invalidate my opinion. That's what you need to do.
I love it. I love putting things out there bold. I'm bold about it. Even if I'm halfway decided on something, right? Like I love to say religion is child abuse. And raising a child in a religious home, Christians especially, you are flat out fucking abusing your child. And do I believe that that is equal to throwing your child in a closet and making them eat the fucking drywall to survive? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't think that it's the same. So I'm definitely not as bold, but I put it out there in a bold way because people need to speak up about it. People need to tell me why this half idea I have is wrong. Tell me how it's not abuse. It might not be as bad as other abuse. Fully agree with you. There is absolutely nothing that you could say that would make me change my mind on that. Obviously, beating a child half to death is much worse than telling them they're going to hell. I get it. But that doesn't change the fact that it's still child abuse to begin with. We can always point out what's worse than something else. We can do that until the cows come home. That's fantastic. That's great. But tell me why I'm wrong on that topic. So, you know, putting things out there in a bold way, in a ridiculing way, in a humorous way, whatever way we choose to put things out there, if you disagree, fucking tell me why I'm wrong. You know, if wearing the burqa is absolutely something that women should be doing, if I should be wearing a burqa, you know, tell me why I'm wrong. Tell me why covering myself from head to toe will better me as a person and whatever. Like, you can't just be like, whatever is your opinion. I don't care. I value your opinion to a certain degree, but I'm not going to just like say, oh, okay, well, your opinion's this and so it's good. No, I mean, I want facts. I want hardcore facts here. And you know, so throw out your opinions. And I'm urging anyone to see this, especially, I laugh at memes that make fun of atheists. I think they're fucking hilarious. The fat guy sitting at his computer with his internet internet battles won memes up on the wall or lines up on the wall. And he's got like My Little Pony and Richard Dawkins hanging in the background. Fucking hilarious. I think it's funny. And I find some truth in it. You know, I really do. When I'm looking at that stuff, I find the truth in it. And I think it's funny. And I also think that talking about stuff like that is also good. We're fucking, I can't, okay, I am in Christians Against Dinosaurs. And I play a fantastic Southern Baptist woman. And I love, I love to throw ridiculous ideas out there and see which atheists start attacking me for it. And, you know, it's fun to debate on the other side sometimes, right? But when I come across some of these atheists, they're just like, you're wrong because you're religious and you're stupid, you God lover. And it's so funny. Like, I picture that guy. I'm like, the person I'm talking to right now is that guy. I bet he's got Cheeto stained fingers and he's sitting at his computer and he's like, I'm gonna win against this Christian. And he's just, you know, and he has no idea who I am. And he's too stupid to look at my profile because he thinks that he's got someone. I've got her. I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna tear this one a new one, and it's just fucking hilarious. So there's truth in a lot of the satire that a lot of people, you can choose to you choose to be offended, you know. And if you want to be offended, that's fantastic. That's on you. But you're missing a huge opportunity to learn. You're missing a huge opportunity to grow. You're missing a huge opportunity to discuss and change someone's mind, therefore changing the world for that person. So something that, you know, me and Casper really wanted to tell everyone is just please start using these learning tools that we have. Satire is such a fantastic learning tool. Please start using these learning tools as an opportunity to learn and put your offense to the side, because nobody cares about your offense but you. Nobody. You've completely lost your opportunity.
You know, it's funny because if there's two atheists out there that don't mind ridiculing atheists and talking about how stupid atheists can be, it's us. Yeah. Like, I have no problem. I have no problem telling you how ridiculous you are for saying stupid shit as an atheist. Oh my God. I love it personally. I love pointing that out. I think it's hilarious.
Nothing is better than debating as a theist, right? Nothing is better because you always win. Theists always win in their own head, right? I mean, you end it with an ad hominem. You get to pull the magic card. And that's what's the awesome part about arguing as a theist is there's magic, there's faith, you've got to believe. And if at the end it just doesn't work out for you, well, honey, I'm going to pray for you. And that's, you know, that's it. You win in your head. So I love going on these satire sites. And I absolutely love pretending to be a theist and debating with atheists. I think that everyone should do that. Debate the other side. I think everyone should always debate the other side if they disagree with it or don't believe in it. It'll definitely make you a stronger debater. But, you know, we come across some of these atheists and it's like, I know now what not to be like. And I understand why Christians hate some of these atheists because they're just as bad. If anyone says that atheists are better debaters, you're wrong. They are just as bad. Your God isn't real. Do you believe me? No, I don't believe you. You're a cunt. Like, yeah, dude, yeah. That's not how you debate. It's not a proper way to debate at all. So, yeah, atheists can absolutely be the worst. It's hilarious. It's really funny.
You know, one more thing, and it sort of ties into everything else we've been talking about here. I wanted to mention that around the Christmas season, Sarah Silverman posted on her Twitter page a post that said, Merry Christmas, Jesus was gender fluid. And the comments to this fucking post by some fundamentalist Christians were absolutely abhorrent. And I don't go into that sort of vocabulary often, but yes, that's all that can be stated about it. They were absolutely abhorrent. People were like, "Oh, she's funny. We'll put her in the oven last." Are you really gonna go there? Are you really gonna go to a fucking Holocaust joke towards a Jewish woman because she offended your sensibilities about your fucking Jesus possibly being gender fluid? Are you fucking kidding me? There's Christ's love for you. There's the love of Christ just
Oh yeah.
flowing through these great Christian fundamentalists. It's like, dude, you're the reason that people like Allie and myself exist. You're the fucking reason. You're the reason we're here. Cause that's some fucked up shit. Like I love to tell off color jokes and even some somewhat racially charged jokes and shit. But Holocaust jokes, like there's no real joke about the fucking Holocaust. Like you don't get to fucking intimidate a Jewish woman with fucking we're gonna throw you in the oven. That's not funny. You lost humor a fucking million miles back. You need to backtrack and fucking get yourself on the right fucking road because that ain't it. That you're so far off base, you're in left field. Like
Yeah.
there's no
But
basis
you know
there.
what? You know what though? I mean, even as disgusting as that is, I still think it's an opportunity for discussion and growth and learning. I still don't think that we need to throw this away. It was inexcusable. That is something that
Oh, I hope we didn't lose
I,
Allie.
I don't know.
Oh no, Miss Allie, your internet's fucking up on us. No. Yeah, it's definitely a chance to talk, and of course Sarah was very kind and polite about it, which she had no right to fucking be kind and polite about it. I mean, kudos to her for doing so, but I would have fucking blew up on some motherfuckers over that shit. You want to make Holocaust jokes about murdering people? Are you kidding me? Like that was fucking well over 6 million people's lives taken, by a fucking despot, and now you think it's a joke. It's somewhere where you can go with humor, and there's just certain places where humor doesn't really cut the mustard. Like I don't get it personally. I would have fucking blew up. I would have gone off on those people. So kudos to Sarah for holding her shit there, but she had every right to fucking blow up on those people, and I wish she would have gone the fuck off on them. Like Sarah can go off, and she damn sure opinion. Like love the woman and love what she does, and kudos to her for having the patience and ability to just laugh it off and move on because it wasn't funny. Wasn't none of it funny. I one of our friends that we both know and respect very well in the atheist community, Dan Errol, he shared an article on Patheos about this, and it was just, whew, yeah. He certainly didn't find it funny either. So kudos to Dan for putting it out there and making sure that people were aware of what the fuck happened to this woman over Jesus might have been gender fluid. Fuck, who cares? Who cares, man? If you believe in what Jesus was supposedly teaching, who cares? Like, who cares if he fucking saw a dick up close and personal? Like, what does that fucking matter towards the message? Uh, even Hitler was a fucking animal lover, and I can say that I agree with him on the fucking treatment of animals. you know, I don't agree with him on much of us anything else, but I can say that I agree with him about the ethical treatment of animals. Like, it's crazy to see people acting like that, and you get around to it, and that's religious fundamentalism, all wrapped up with a nice little bow. That's what it does. Your ideas are supposedly untouchable now, but because they're holy and they're sacred. And so your ideas are off fucking limits, but you can joke about the fucking Holocaust like it was, some sort of goddamn pickaboo game out there. Who's a Jew? It's not. It's just not. I don't know. I fucking hate people sometimes. I think the human race is yeah, there's so many days where I think, if human beings got wiped off the fucking map, it might be a great day for the earth. I just, I lose faith in my fellow man over shit like that.
Can you hear me? Am I back?
Yes, you're good, honey.
So,
I'm sorry we lost you there for a minute.
Yeah, me too. I'm so sorry. But no, what I was saying is that absolutely is another example of how we need to take those kinds of things. No, it wasn't funny. It wasn't even ridiculing, in all honesty. So, I mean, as far as every definition of what satire is, I certainly wouldn't call a comment like that satire. But it still is an opportunity to discuss. And that is very important. These people need to understand why that's not funny, why it's inappropriate. And of course they wanted it to be hurtful. It wasn't like they were trying to be, funny or anything. They were trying to be hurtful, but it's not hurtful in the right way. There are better ways to be hurtful towards someone, I think, rather than bringing up the Holocaust. But I don't know, that's just me. But I would still absolutely see it as an opportunity to discuss. And that's important.
Yeah, I don't, it's weird because I don't ever set out to hurt people. Like, that's not my purpose. It somewhat pains me that people get offended and hurt by some of the comments I make. But at the same time, I'm just being honest. That's all I'm trying to do, is just be honest and open and be completely real, as oh fuck, Larry Wilmore likes to do. I just want to keep it 100. That's it. Let's keep it 100.
Well,
and if that hurts,
most people do set off to hurt people. I really don't. I think that people are just so used to voicing their offense nowadays, just so used to it. And even I have to think twice before posting something. Is somebody going to message me? Am I going to hear about this in my inbox that I've offended somebody over posting this? And it's kind of sad that we've gotten to that point. Because, like I said, we should just be at a point where we put something out there in good faith. This is something that I believe, or this is something I found funny. And if it's not funny, or if it's not a learning opportunity, let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. Let's quit getting so offended, and let's start looking at the other person's point of view and thinking, why does this person think this is okay? Why does this person think this is funny? I don't think this is funny. Here's why I don't think this is funny. And let's discuss it, rather than, well, I'm just going to unfollow you, I'm going to unfriend you. No, let's open this up. Let's be a voice. Let's talk about things. But yeah, and I know that we're running towards the end of this, and something that is kind of off topic here that I did want to throw out there was, after last week's episode, I got so many messages from people wanting to know how I'm doing, and that was just so outrageously sweet. That the outpour from our people who watched this show that actually cared. Thank you so much. I'm doing so much better. Everything really does seem to be better. But I also didn't know that we had that many people that watched the show that cared to even contact us. So this is something that Casper and I do kind of for fun, kind of for health, actually. Getting all this stuff out there in some way is outrageously healthy for us, emotionally, mentally. And we could hang out together, so it's always a blast. So thank you so much, everyone who does watch us and cares to reach out to us personally. You can always find me on Facebook and send me a message and let me know who you are. Casper and I were just talking about this because we've been reported a lot lately, and maybe we should start our own pages, which he has his own page. And I do not. I just accept people as my friends on Facebook. So maybe we'll start doing that.
You know, it's weird because I do that too. I do have my author page, but you know, if people want to friend me and follow me or whatnot, like, no, I want people to be a part of my life, and
Yes.
I don't even care if you're religious or not. Like, I'm here to fucking, you know, be a human being. Like, I wanna have the human experience, and that encompasses everything. It's more than just being an atheist. You know, I granted I don't have a lot of religious friends anymore. I don't. They get very upset by a lot of the things that I say and post and do, and they're just like, oh, you're so against my religion. I can't be a friend of yours. And I'm like, no, I get it. I get where you're coming from. I just think you're wrong and you're kind of silly. But I get it. If you can't deal with it in a reasonable and logical manner, then yeah, that's cool. You don't have to be my friend. I want you to be. I don't exclude anyone. If you're religious and you want to be my friends, I have Muslims and Christians that I talk to all the time, because they're willing to have conversations and actually have open and honest conversations. We do that, you know, and I don't exclude anybody, and Miss Allie doesn't exclude anyone either, you know. But we care about the human experience, being a human being on this planet, because we know this only happens once. We're never going to get to repeat this. Even if your religion turns out to be true, we don't get to do this again. This is a one time only event, you know, so we want to be a part of it. We want to enjoy it and experience it. It's important to us.
It is. It really is. And so yeah, I just again wanted to thank everybody. And if you do want to friend me on Facebook, send me a message, whatever, please do. You can always, if you can't find me on Facebook, you can always send our Devils in God's Country page a message, and we'll be more than happy to talk with you there as well, and get in touch with you. So thank you all for all of your support and listening to our rants. It's pretty cool.
So one last thing, and we'll touch back on our original issue, and what we were talking about with the subjugation and degradation of women. And when it comes to dealing with atheists, because as we've said, and as most of you who watch the show and know me and Allie, know, we do not fucking favor atheists. Like, just because you call yourself an atheist, that doesn't mean you're getting special treatment with us. It doesn't. So one of the things that we deal with in our community that is a real issue that we want to address, that we want to deal with, is issues such as slut shaming. If you know a woman who flaunts her sexuality, who wears her sexuality on a sleeve, and you want to fucking shame her for that, you're a douchebag. You can suck a fat dick, okay? That's hers to do with as she fucking pleases, and it's not your fucking right or a, you know, place to tell her she's fucking wrong because she wants to go out in a fucking string bikini that barely covers her fucking nipples, and suddenly, oh, now she's a fucking whore and she's a piece of shit. Like, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. We have our own issues in this community that still come up and that we're still dealing with. And I think one of the things that makes the atheist community a very different and special community is that we do try and address these issues, and we do try and deal with them, and that we do bring them to the forefront. We're going to have that fucking discussion. You know, people like Allie and myself are going to tell you, if you want to shame a woman for flaunting her sexuality, you're a jackass. You don't have that fucking right. That's not your place to do that. Fuck you. That's hers. She can do with that as she wants, and that doesn't mean you have the right to fucking rape her. That doesn't mean the right you have the right to ridicule her, belittle her for it. You know, everyone and anyone, male or female, if you want to flaunt or put your sexuality out there for people, you feel as free as you want to do with that. We're not going to tell you you have to fit into a box. That's not our place. So to all the women out there who are involved in the atheist community and who have this sort of slut shaming take place upon you, let us know. If you want to come on the show with us and talk with us and vent with us, have a few drinks and just let it go, let us know. We'll bring you on here. We will let you rant. We will put it out there, folks, because we don't like that shit. We don't appreciate it. We don't want our community to act like that. It's important to us that this encompasses everyone. The human experience is different for everyone, and to understand everyone's viewpoints is what makes the human experience so amazing. So tell us what your story is, and we'd love to have you on here. Yes, anyone that watches this fucking show can be a guest with us. Just contact us on the Devil's page, and we will set it up, and we will have a special show for you, and we will get you on here and let you let go. Um, we love our viewers, we love our fans, we love all the people out there. So I think we're going to wrap it up. We've gone a little bit over an hour. Um, no shit's given. We honestly, we could sit here for a whole nother hour and just do this because we love just talking to folks, just putting it out there. And again, to people like Sink and CJ and all the regressive left that want to bitch about fucking the issues that we take with Islam, look here, fuckers. Read my books, okay? I put out 7 of them in the last year, okay? In the year of 2015, you can find 7 Casper Rigsby books on Amazon right now, and they all attack Christianity. Every last fucking one of them. And yes, I attack Islam and I fucking point out the problems with Islam. But man, if you think that I am straight up just against Islam, you've lost your fucking mind. And I don't see those people posting reviews of my books, telling me that I'm a shithead for fucking bashing Christianity or fucking pointing out the flaws in Christianity. They're not there. But the moment I write a blog about fucking Islam, here they come like Captain fucking Save-A-Ho. What the fuck is your problem, man? Get your shit together, dude.
It's like they smell it a mile away and they just all together come running full force. Crazy.
And I can state the same thing for Michael Sherlock, who CJ Worrellman wants to blame for fucking the North Carolina murders that took place of Muslim people. Like, fuck you, CJ.
Fuck that guy.
Read his shit on fucking Christianity. That motherfucker's written so many things talking about how fucked up Christianity is, and yet he wants to write a few articles that actually make the very valid statement that ISIS is Islam, and suddenly, oh no, he's the fucking problem. No, you know what, douchebag? You're the fucking problem. You're the problem for giving fucking fundamentalists a platform and saying, no, I'm an atheist and I agree with these fuckers. You're the fucking problem. You're a dickhead. Like, personally, CJ Worrellman, you're a fucking dickhead. You can suck a cock. I don't think that your fucking spoiled ass could write your way out of fucking paper bag. And if you want to fucking sue me for libel, I would love to bring it up in court. I want to videotape that shit and put it on as a fucking devil's special. You dick face motherfucker. I hate you. I really don't hate most people, but I wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire. You're a shithead. So just putting that out there. As always, The views expressed here on Devils and God's Country are not necessarily the views of all members of Atheist Republic. We are a over 300 member strong nonprofit organization based out of Canada, soon to come to America. We're going to have that U.S. branch set up very soon. Yeah, if you have a problem with the shit that we say here, let us know. That's on us. That's not on Atheist Republic. So leave Atheist Republic out of it. Give us your personal thoughts and viewpoints about our opinions because they are specifically ours. If you'd like to contribute to Atheist Republic, if you like the shit that we do, please visit atheistrepublic.com/volunteer if you want to volunteer your time. If you want to get your voice heard, we'd love to hear from you. If you want to volunteer, if you want to help us out financially, because this is not something that is free, you're welcome to visit atheistrepublic.com. You can become a donor in some way. If you have the finances to help us out, we would love to have your help. This has been the Devils in God's Country. I'm one of your hosts, Casper Rigsby. It's my lovely co-host, Miss Allie Jackson. And we're going to sign off because we've run way the fuck over our time. That's what drunks do. Love you guys. We'll be back next Monday. See ya.